Hello everyone, welcome to today's session, and in today's video we will cover one functional topic that is related with fixed assets. And one of my viewers, he has asked about this, so we will be reviewing this feature available in the fixed asset module. So basically, as you must be knowing, generally when you depreciate a fixed asset, it is either available as a yearly or monthly basis. Normally, typical users, they do like this in the fixed asset department in finance, but there are some other options also available. So for that, we will just go ahead with the Contoso data, and this is USMF legal entity. And I will go to the fixed asset module, and in the fixed asset module, basically the things which are responsible for the depreciation and the posting profiles. So we will just check those. So here you can see that there are depreciation profiles available. So we have various options available, like this one. In the method you can just look up, and you can see here straight line service life, reducing balance, manual factor. There are so many. So mostly straight line life remaining or straight line service life it is used. Also reducing balance is also used. So anyhow, so we will just be looking into the straight line service life method, and here you can see the depreciation. The way of depreciation is either you can use the fiscal or calendar. So if you use for example calendar, then you have the options available like yearly, monthly, quarterly or half yearly basis. So the depreciation will be done either based on yearly or monthly, or quarterly means 3 monthly, half yearly means 6 monthly. Or you have another option which is fiscal year based. So in the fiscal year base, you can see here yearly or fiscal period basis, two options are available. So if you go to the fiscal period, so mostly fiscal period, if you see in the ledger calendar, in the fiscal calendar, those are monthly basis. So I will go to the journal ledger module, and in the journal ledger module you can go to the fiscal calendars. Okay, so in the fiscal calendar, like for example the one selected here is fiscal. So in this one you can see that monthly, on the monthly basis, like this 2023 year, you will have here the view that this is January, February, March. Based on whatever the days in those months are, fiscal periods are being defined. But also there is a provision like this setting, where this setting is defined in fixed asset. This is also a very interesting thing, because it is not directly coming whatever you define here. And in the ledger, if you go to the ledger settings, you can define a ledger fiscal calendar here, which will be applying to all general finance modules. But this one is not taken from the fixed asset module. Rather, if you go to the fixed asset module and go to the books here, so for example, if I go to the SLSL, you can see here the calendar setting is available in the books. So what are the fixed asset books? Books are basically books are containing various settings defined against a fixed asset. So you can have a single book associated with the fixed asset, or you can have multiple books associated with a fixed asset. But mostly the post to journal ledger, these settings should be available only in one of the book. The remaining books should not have this setting. So also a book can be connected with derived books. So that means if one specific book is associated with the fixed asset, so the derived books will also be calculated due to different calculations. For example, maybe government state to state laws are varying. So in that case, those can also be used. So here the settings for the calendar is also available. So which calendar you are selecting is basically dictated by the book associated with that specific fixed asset book. Okay, so now we are going to make one fixed asset. Okay, and I will just use the copy function here. So I will take the vehicle and I will copy this fixed asset to have the same settings. Okay, so now this another fixed asset has been created by the copy function, and now I can go to the books. So this books is already copied from the last asset, but I don't need this, so I will delete all these. Okay, so I will delete all the books which are copied and I will create my own book. And basically the intention is to have the day-based depreciation. Okay, so for the day-based depreciation, we need to have a fiscal period on the basis of days. That we will see in a minute. So first of all, we will create a fiscal year, and for that we need to go to the journal ledger. Okay, in the journal ledger, you can go to the fiscal calendar. Okay, and in the fiscal calendar, here we will create a new calendar, and let's say I will name it FY days, or capitalize it FY fiscal year days. So the initial date is 1st of January till 31st of December. Fiscal year name is 2023, and here you can see the units are like you can define in days, months, years, or all. So normally weeks are not available, only days are available. So I will define here the unit to be days and length of period is 1. So this will create a fiscal year on the days basis, and it will contain 365 days, plus there will be 2 additional periods for the opening and closing. Okay, so this is the calendar which is generated, and you can see here. See, each of the day is now generated by this generate functionality. And how many periods we have now? 366 periods have been defined. Okay, so now after defining our fiscal calendar, we don't want to use the same calendar in journal ledger parameter, and we will go to the fixed asset and we will go to the books. Okay, in the fixed asset book, here what we need to do is like straight line service life. So here post to journal ledger, posting layer is current, create depreciation adjustment, depreciation profile need to be selected, calculate depreciation need to be ticked, and calendar in this case will be our day based calendar. And then we will if we have derived books, those can be defined here, but we will not be having derived books in this case. So I will just create here SL and days, straight line service life in days. Okay, so I will mark calculate depreciation, and also depreciation profile will be the SL service, that is straight life service line, that is also based in on the fiscal period. And post to journal ledger will be clicked yes. If you are having derived books, so mostly it is no, and then posting layer will be none. So in our case, it will be post to journal ledger to have the financial effect on GL, and then we will also be ticking create depreciation adjustment. Okay, and then we will have a calendar, and calendar will be the one which we have just created, that is FY days fiscal calendar on the day basis. So that's it. Once we save it, now the same book we can use in our newly created fixed asset. For that we need to go to the fixed asset page. We will go to the vehicle 21 and go to the book. Okay, in the books we will create a new record, and here we will select SL days, which we have just defined. So this is it. And once we have defined this books, okay, so it is saying service life must be greater than 0 for depreciation method straight line service life. For this we need to have service life also need to be defined. So I will define 6 years. So you can see here depreciation periods are based on the days available in those 6 years. So 6 multiplied by 365, so it will become 2192 days. So this is the new record created, and so this book is now associated. So what we need to do is also, after defining the book, the posting profile also need to be defined, because if you acquire a new asset or depreciate it, so there should be some settings available, or the ledger settings available, to which ledger account it will be basically posting. So for that I need to create acquisition record and select the book which I have just created, SL days, and here I will select the account. Okay, these, after defining this account, also I need to have the depreciation account to be defined. So for that also I will select my book, and then I will define the account which will have the effect once I depreciate. One is expense account and one is accumulated depreciation account. That is a balance sheet type. Okay, so once I have defined this one. Okay, also if you are making sale disposal or scrap disposal, those accounts should be also defined here against the newly created book. But for the time sake now, I will just go ahead and acquire the asset. So I will create a new fixed asset journal, and okay, so create a new journal and select here fixed asset entries, go to the lines. Okay, in the lines I will first of all select date, and to be simple I will just put January 1st 2023, and in the transaction type is already acquisition. In the account I will select the newly created asset. So this asset is already having the book. So SL days is automatically selected to be only available book. Okay, so then in the debit, this will be for example 6 years, so I will put $6,000 debit to the asset, and credit to this account which is retained earning, but it can be a cash account also. So now this is the basic entry for the acquisition of the asset. So just try to post the entry so that the asset is acquired. Okay, meanwhile I will go to the fixed asset. Okay, this is the fixed asset which I just created, and the posting the acquisition against this. So here you can see the acquisition price is reflected and status is open, means it is now acquired. Acquisition date is also showing up, and in the transactions we will see 6,000 is acquisition transactions here. And if you want to have the details about this, so this is the detail. Here you can see retained earning is credited and debit goes to the asset account. Okay, so this is the detail. And to have another view, you can go to the balances. Okay, in the balance on the right hand side, you can see the acquisition on 6,000 USD and net book value is 6,000, because there is no depreciation for the current months after January 1st, 2023. Now what we will do is, after this journal is now posted, I will create another journal for the depreciation. Okay, now you go to the lines. Okay, and in the lines, no need to select anything now, just go to the proposal and go to the depreciation proposal. In the depreciation proposal, you can select as of date, like today. Okay, and because now it is based on the days basis, so we can even select today's date. No need to select the last end of the month. And in the criteria, I will select the asset 21, which is the asset in discussion. Okay, the to date is today's date, and summary depreciation is turned off. So it summary means it will create one entry only, but we need to have multiple entries for each days. So after selecting the fixed asset, I will click OK, and the depreciation proposal will give the proposal in terms of days. Okay, so now you can see that it is on the day basis. The amount of $10 is credit to the depreciation account. Okay, depreciation is expense account, and the debit goes to the accumulated no, actually debit goes to the expense account and the credit goes to the accumulated depreciation account. So these are the entries, and so $10 per day. You can see till 14th of October, which is today's date, $10 has been proposed as to be depreciated, and now I will just post this. Okay, so now you can see 287 vouchers have been posted on the day basis to the ledger, and now we will go ahead and check our valuations. Okay, so 2,870 have been depreciated as of today. So this is the total effect, and this is the net book value. And similarly, if you go to the transactions, so many entries have been generated. Go to the books. Okay, so books, also in the book you can see depreciation periods remaining is now reduced, and total depreciation periods were these, and also the acquisition price is mentioned here. Plus you can go to the transactions. Okay, in the transaction, for each day wise depreciation have been generated for each of the voucher number. So in this case, if you want to reverse a specific transaction, but it should be the ending one, you can reverse from here. So this is how we can generate day wise depreciation. So based on the fiscal period. So if fiscal period defined in the fixed asset book, or define, first of all, it is defined in the general ledger. In the general ledger fiscal calendars. Okay, here you can basically define, first of all, on the day basis of fiscal calendar. Once you have defined this, then you must select the same fiscal calendar in the fixed asset book, and that is, go to the fixed asset module, go to the books, and in the books, SLSL days, here you can see the calendar being selected, and then the same book need to be associated with the asset in focus. But what about the existing assets? So those assets basically cannot, you can associate a new book, but it will still show the not acquired. So you cannot have two books which are having ledger effect. So it will create the double effect, and it will, certain cases it will not allow it. For example, acquisition, only one acquisition is allowed for one asset. So you cannot post two acquisition records for one asset. So but it will allow acquisition adjustment for the same assets. So if you want to adjust the value of that asset, and also the depreciation is allowed per asset is only one. So you cannot have multiple depreciation for the same period for the same asset. So this is why only one book should be connected to the post to general ledger, and the other derived books should not have this option enabled. So this is how we have basically presented how we can depreciate on the days basis. First of all, fiscal period should be the settings in the depreciation profile. Okay, in the depreciation profile SL service, here you can see the depreciation year is fiscal and the period frequency fiscal period. Then same depreciation profile need to be selected, in the book that is linked with that asset. So in this one, You can see depreciation profile SL service that is having already fiscal period wise depreciation, and then we associated one fiscal calendar here. So and then you can definitely define the posting profile to define the new accounts, new books, and with the new accounts maybe or the old accounts, you need to define that one. Here you can see for acquisition as well as for other types of transaction like depreciation, also you need to define here the corresponding account. This is how we have now concluded our one of the aspects which is available in the fixed asset. I hope it is of some information to the people in the fixed asset department or in the finance department. Thank you very much and stay tuned. And if you want to have any other topic to be covered, just let me know. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.